What do you think in terms of Trump's response or his threat to come to Nigeria, military come to sort out the problem supporting Nigeria? And then what do you think about the support of Nigeria from Russia and the European Union? How does, China and the European Union, how would this play? How would this play out?
No. Please don't let us get ourselves onto the wrong track. Verbally, China, European Union, Russia, they will all come supporting you verbally. But from our experience of what Ukraine has been going through, confronting America with verbal support is not going to do us any good. So don't let us go on to that. What we should be asking now is, what should the Tinubu administration be doing? I believe that it should now, its government and its security forces should show a willingness, a determination, and the ability to confront these people and people left. And that would be genocide. So it's a common sense definition we should adopt in dealing with this matter of Nigeria. If you live in the middle belt, there's no genocide, then you don't know what you're talking about. In fact, people who say there's no genocide in the middle belt, I would suggest they go and live in the middle belt, in Jos or wherever, for 100 days. And then they will come back onto your program and tell you their experience. People who say that Muslims are not being killed, to Kano, to Sokoto, to Zamfara, or not spend days there and come back to your program and say that if I made a very rational point this morning. He said, why would any Nigerian leave his village and go and live in an IDP camp? I visited those IDP camps when I was serving on the Boko Haram committee. For God's sake, even the hygiene there will not encourage you to send your, in fact, it's better to send your enemy to prison than to send them to an IDP camp. So why will a Nigerian go to an IDP camp if he's not running away for his life? Why will a Nigerian abandon his farm, which is the mainstay for sustaining his family, if he's not afraid that he will be attacked and he will be killed on that farm? So let us pardon Trump for the bombastic language that we know Trump. He's used to that. But the basic questions we should be asking ourselves are Nigerians getting killed in Nigeria? And the answer is yes. Let us not get into a religious civil war. It's not a question of whether Christians are getting killed or Muslims are getting killed. Christians are getting killed, but they are getting killed by Muslims, not by fellow Christians. Muslims are getting killed, not by Christians, but by fellow Christians. What we would like to see is that the killings should stop. And to me, the most sensible statement I have heard made, and on this question within our circle in Nigeria, is that by Pastor Adeboye, who has said that our own president should approach Trump and tell him what he intends to do and ask him for 100 days to prove that he can tackle the situation that is at hand. Because we must not deceive ourselves. After how many years has the Nigerian government, and not just the Tinubu administration, this thing goes all the way back to the Chibok girls under Jonathan's administration. Have we seen, has the government, the Nigerian government, shown a capability?
Prof has been able to establish the fact that there's Christian genocide in Nigeria, that if you live in Benue and you live in some other parts, you cannot say there's no genocide. And it is not a fight between Christians and Muslims. Muslims are being killed, Christians are being killed. There's Christian genocide. Okay, we have Prof back. Prof, continue your views, sir.
Yes. Oh dear, I've forgotten where I stopped. That's what old age does to you.
No, you said the person that have made a great point is Pastor Adeboye. Adeboye.
Yes. In his approach to this problem, and I fully support his idea that our government should approach the American government, not in a confrontational position, because in a way, if you decide to take on the most powerful man in the world, you are just going to suffer the consequences, which we don't want. Nobody wants American boots on the ground.
Yes.
And
all right.
we should stop saying, what's happened? You
Can
can't hear
me,
me again?
No, we can hear you. We can hear you. It was when you
Yes,
mentioned boots on the ground. I was going to highlight my question there just to bring you in, sir. Can I go on?
Okay.
Thank you so much for allowing me to
please.
interrupt. I just needed to get this in because of our time is short. So, talking about boots on the ground, and you've already mentioned or asserted that there is genocide in Nigeria. We had, just before the break, just before you came on, an interview exclusive with U.S. Congressman Bill Huizenga, and he also agrees with you. And then he says that the Nigerian government hasn't done enough for the number of years that this has gone on, up to 15 years. I don't know if you agree with him with that statement. And then Trump's response. In his own view, America has bigger priorities, for instance, trying to, their government shutdown at the moment and other priorities. What do you think in terms of Trump's response or his threat to come to Nigeria military, come to sort out the problem supporting Nigeria? And then what do you think about the support of Nigeria from Russia and the European Union? How does, China and the European Union, how would this play? How would this play out?
No. Please don't let us get ourselves onto the wrong track. Verbally, China, European Union, Russia, they will all come supporting you verbally. But from our experience of what Ukraine has been going through, confronting America with verbal support is not going to do us any good. So don't let us go on to that. What we should be asking now is, what should the Tinubu administration be doing? I believe that it should now, his government and his security forces should show a willingness, a determination, and the ability to confront these people and to defeat them. I have had it said on your program that if we can do what we did in Ecomog, why can't we take on these people? And the answer is simple, because we're not united domestically. That consensus must be created by the by the Tinubu administration. And what one means is the administration must give directives to its own troops, and those troops must obey those directives. If it's necessary, Tinubu should clean out those troops to make sure that there are no, within the security apparatus, that there are no people who are leaking information to, whether it's Boko Haram, whether it's the ISWAS, whatever it is. Don't forget that the Americans have a big experience under Jonathan. When the Chibok girls were picked up by the Boko Haram, the Americans came in quietly with the support of the Jonathan, at the invitation of the Jonathan administration, and in collaboration with the Nigerian troops, agreed on what because they discovered the camp where these girls were being kept. And they said, all right, we will throw gas into those camps. And while everybody is sleeping, including the Boko Haram, we'll go in with the Nigerian troops and take out the girls. When the Americans sent the reconnaissance aircraft over the camp, what did they find? Boko Haram troops, Boko Haram militia were wearing masks, which means somebody within the Nigerian army had leaked to the Boko Haram what the plan was. The Americans pulled out. They were not going to subject their troops to this. So we must clean out from within the Nigerian troops people who are sympathetic towards the Boko Haram or ISWAS or whatever it is. But if you want to stop Trump from doing what he says he wants to do, the Nigerian administration must show a determination to clean out this ourselves. But don't let us get into this internal civil war, religious civil war. Christians are not being killed, Muslims are not being killed, Nigerians are being killed. And for the first time, we are getting a superpower who says, I want to help you to clean out this mess. And then we are busy now, within ourselves, fighting amongst ourselves. Yes, it's happening. Yes, it's not happening. Trump didn't say he was coming to invade Nigeria, to occupy Nigeria. He said he was coming to help us to clean out the mess that we have not been able to clean out all these years.
Okay, sir. And this is a very valid point, very salient point. I know so many people have been waiting to hear your insights on this particular issue. Now, one of the junctures where people are divided is this American support. And as you've highlighted, it's not invasion, it's not coming to invade Nigeria, but it's support to tackle the enemy that is on the ground. Now, one school of thought says this is a welcome development. We need this support because clearly we're not coping on our own. But the other school of thought says, well, this American assistance, if I may call it that, in the past, what is the track record of its success of creating sustainable peace? And number two, there's no country that does something for free. Help is a relative word when we speak in international relations and diplomacy. What will we have to give up to the economic diplomacy-led administration of Donald Trump that we know is extremely transactional? What is the cost to Nigeria?
You've raised a very valid point. Based on our assessment of American involvement in several parts of the world. But this same situation doesn't duplicate itself. We must make an assessment of our own needs and what we need to do to achieve peace and stability in Nigeria. If we say the Americans coming in will lead to what happened in Libya, in Iraq, in Syria, and thereabouts, and that the price we will then have to pay are probably access to our raw materials, access to the gold and diamond and all these other things that we have. On the other hand, if we don't get any assistance and we don't show the capability and the willingness to confront this, we get on by ISWAP and Boko Haram. Well, since they're in Kwara, tell me, what is the next underground stage that they will go? It is going to be southwest. And that will be the price you will have to pay. You will then have to pay the price of total destability of your country. To me, it's unfortunate, but what we are facing is not pleasant. And we have to now make a risk assessment of what the price we will pay if we allow the Americans to come in, and the price we will pay if we don't accept American assistance and we continue to play games with the we continue to play games with the attacks on our own people, an attack that has taken on a religious connotation. Don't let us deceive ourselves. Or the cathedral in Owo was attacked by people who were worshipping. Yeah. Has anything been done about that? No. Did Buhari even make a trip to Owo to see the governor there? No, he didn't. So let us call a spade a spade. We want the killings to stop. Yes. And it is bent on our government. The buck is on Tinubu's table. He must stop the killings. And that's why I said I'm on all fours with Pastor Adeboye. Let the administration ask the American administration to give us time. And we must be prepared to show that time.
Like this wonder shall never end. Yes, so still on this genus side issue, you understand? So where they go on now, you understand? So I don't see many people they deliberate, you understand? So any position they talk off key concerning this issue based on their personal interest, you understand? But this one, what they call Akinyemi, this professor. No, this man speak fat, you understand? He speak fat. Now, what he talk concerning this Christian genocide? Now, the fact, he said that confronting America with verbal support, you understand, from China and EU will not do us good. Will not do Nigeria any good at all. You understand me? So, we all know, say, this thing are real, now fact, you understand? Now, unless or now people will get their personal agenda, you understand? Now they don't support this whole issue where they go now. We all know, say, people require always, you understand? You understand? So, but they don't want to agree, you understand? For that, because of their greediness, they don't want to agree. You understand me? So, God bless this professor, you You understand? Like, please, now this kind of video now we supposed to share. You understand? At least people see the wasted guesses. You understand? So we need to share the video go viral so that more people can see it and also share. Like this number for Sugar Boy.